Hey everybody, how's it going? I was thinking before we carried on with the story any further, we would go ahead and explore around Lake Mead up here. There are several locations we can discover, get a few of them under our belts so we can fast travel back here later. One in particular, Camp Golf, which has not only a few side quests involved with it, but one major one having to do with the radio operator back there at Camp Forlorn Hope. But it's a ways to go yet before we can carry on with that one. We still have to discover some ranger stations and stuff, but anyway, there are a lot of good chunks of XP to be gotten here from killing these lake lurks, which are lurking around the lake. No pun intended there. And also just from discovering the locations themselves, of course. And a few skill books. Let's see. There is I think they call it a scavenger's raft or something. Anyway, it's this floating little set of docks out in the middle of the lake. Can't quite see them from here, but they'll come into view if we get close enough. And there's a wasteland survival guide on it. And there is a shack or two around the edge of the lake. I think one of them is like I don't know, like a boat rental place or something like that. And then we'll even come up on a cazador den in what looks like a boat warehouse or something. But that's basically on the other side of the lake. There's a lot of stuff to be found between here and there. Right, if we can just get these lake lurks here out of the way, finally. I like to fight these guys from a distance, a long distance if possible. I wish I had a scope on this rifle, to tell you the truth. Because they have a sonic attack, and it's this little wave of energy that I guess they shoot out of their foreheads or their mouths or something. But on this difficulty, I will be 2 hit by those. The first hit will take away probably about 2/3, 3/4 of my health, and the second one will finish me off. And they can attack pretty quickly, and they have a decent range. But, like, say, from the distance I am right here, I doubt they could hit me. So about the time you could see them is a good time to start shooting them, you know what I mean? Yeah, these guys, they're pretty brutal. I'm not sure exactly how effective they are in melee range, up real close, but it's usually hard to get that close to them anyway, because they usually sonic your face off before you can get there. Alright, and we have a lot of these little miscellaneous places like this. I don't know if there's any significance to this campground, per se, except for just a location to discover. It's a couple picnic tables and a barbecue pit or two. There's probably some stray cram, and it's possible you might find a sunset star cap at some of those. Like on a table like right there or something. It's a good thing Victor wasn't down there, because those sonic blasts will 2 or 3 shot Victor, too. And although I think his program can transfer from one robot to another, I think his robot is just like a shell. I think his program itself is who Victor is. So I believe he can go from one robot to another. Pretty sure. But I try not to let him die before we get to Vegas. And these guys are running for their lives. Apparently there is a threat nearby that I'm not aware of.
This post isn't someplace a civilian ought to be. All right. She radioed ahead and mentioned that somebody was coming by. Odd that she'd send a civilian instead of a trooper, though. Just the usual. Legion scouts try to slip across the river a couple of times a week, but they always end up floating downriver with holes in their heads. Ranger Station Alpha. Ranger Lineholm is in command here. I'm not really much of a historian. The short version is that the Rangers are the elite of the NCR military. Best fighters in the wasteland.
Alright.
Don't get killed out there.
So that's the first of the new comm codes, security codes that we need to deliver. See, here's the ranger in charge of this camp.
This is a military outpost. Why are you here? Have you ever heard the story of the bomber that crashed into the lake before the war? Supposedly it's mostly intact, even after all that time. For about 10 years now. Toughest training I've ever done, and was the proudest day of my life when I got my Ranger badge. Did you know that the first battle at Hoover Dam was won because of the Rangers? Legion had the numbers, but we had the skill. Ranger Station Alpha used to be the frontline outpost for NCR. When we moved on to the dam, this station has fallen into more a support role. So long.
All right, speaking of that bomber is literally out in the middle of that lake, and that will be a focal point of the boomers quests. They'll want to raise that bomber up. and actually get it flying again. It's pretty cool. That's far in the future. Don't know if I'll get to the boomers and do all that. It's quite a few gopher missions that they have, but some of it's actually kind of fun. Basically what you do is you just help them out and get their camp back in order and do some things for them, and then eventually get the bomber raised up in the lake, and they'll do the rest and gain their trust and blah, blah, blah. Good allies to have. All right, now we don't see it yet, but it's not too far off in the distance there in the lake is that scavenger's platform. I'm not going to too much worry about it. For right now, I want to get Camp Golf discovered so I can come back here. There is some training you can do with some privates or some recruits or whatever you want to call them here that net some pretty good XP and some speech checks and things like that. I definitely want to get that out of the way. Probably won't do that right this minute, but if I can discover Camp Golf, then I can come back here at my leisure and just do it whenever. I think there's a skill magazine in here. Yep. I'll take that. Might as well take a nap, too, while I'm at it. I haven't slept in a while, and on hardcore, although the sleep meter goes up slowly, you can stay awake for several days without it really affecting you. The hunger and the thirst ones really build up on you quickly. Getting thirsty in the desert quickly. I mean, that makes sense. I get it. Although me personally, I have to sleep a lot more than once every couple days. I get tired midday. I need a nap, so I don't know. Alright, so it doesn't want to trigger for me for some reason. I actually have to hop the wall here and go jump up and down in the middle of the compound until Camp Golf recognizes me. Literally. Apparently my followers have found something hostile. I'll let them deal with that. Be nice to be able to drive around one of those golf carts. That'd be cool. Okay, they killed something. Alright, finally. Literally have to jump up and down in the middle of Camp Golf to get it to register. Okay. So we got that. We can fast travel back here anytime now. We're actually going to have to come back here a couple times. Alright, so before my followers freak out and circle the whole of Camp Golf and probably get themselves killed in the process, I think I'll hop this fence so they can rejoin me. That's the thing, is if all you have to do is essentially step over a curb, and if that curb is a mile long, they will run down to the end of that curb and back to follow you instead of just jumping the curb. So I guess it's Cazadors that they found. Alright. We got this. It says Cazador was frenzied. There were other Cazadors around. He'd start tripping on them, but let's see. These things are kind of hard to free fire. Once you get the grenade rifle long tube on them, and of course they can shoot farther, they're a little easier to aim. But right now, it seems like you almost have to point in the sky to get them to shoot 5 feet. Alright, well, I have trouble hitting a stationary target with this hunting rifle right now, and I'm certainly not going to hit this moving Cazador. Thing I like to do with these guys, I actually made a short video on a strategy to kill these things, especially when there's a group, when you get mobbed by them, is essentially fire at the ones that A, your followers are firing at, so you can get combined fire and kill them quicker, one by one. And B is basically backpedal until your followers can draw their aggro, draw their attention, and then once they do, just lay into them. But like I say, still try to pick the one that your followers are firing at also, and you'll knock them down 10 times faster than you will shooting at one while Edie shoots at another while Boone shoots at another type of thing. That's not going to get you anywhere. They're going to hit you enough and poison you and kill you before you can get rid of them. So anyway, just a little strategy. There is a small video on that, actually. Maybe I'll even leave a link for that if you guys are interested. Killing Cazadors. Right on. All right, here's the first of several skill books we'll find around here on this general area. Got to be a star bottle cap in there somewhere, right? Sure is. Yeah, we're going to definitely hit 50 by the time we get to Old Festus, the Sunset Sarsaparilla bottling plant. Tell you what, in Fallout 3, I loved finding turpentine. Turpentine, cherry bombs. Man, those are worth their weight in gold. Making nuclear grenades and bottle cap mines. Oh my god, bottle cap mines were a Deathclaw killer. Backpedal and drop a few bottle cap mines in your way, you know, because Deathclaws were going to charge you. So if you could get a little distance between you and them and drop some bottle cap mines, maybe 2, maybe 3 if you had to, but 2, that's really all it took. Take out a full-grown Deathclaw on very hard. At level 25, 30. I mean, no problem. I don't love those things. Nuclear grenades were Enclave killers. Get several Enclave soldiers together and throw a couple nukas at them, and it's over. All right, I'm glad we didn't get ambushed. Sometimes as soon as you step out the door, these lake lurks here, that weren't there when we entered, but will be there when we get back. There's the scavenger platform over there, by the way, also. But these guys will sometimes ambush you. If it was daytime, they probably would, I guess. But it's still being somewhat dark. Surprise, mofo. Anyone else want some of that? I know there's another one over here somewhere. Let's see his ticker. Come on. Yeah, Boone hears him too. Tell you what, between Edie detecting enemies 500 miles off and Boone being able to spot them for you, even in the dark, you can see these little red outlines from forever. I mean, it's crazy the range you get. One thing I don't know is if a higher perception affects Edie's range. In other words, like, Edie's going to have a ridiculous sensor range at, you know, say with a perception of, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7, whatever. But with a perception of 10, I wonder how much farther his range would be, or if it would affect it at all. I've never actually tested that. I don't know if there really is a way. I mean, you'll see the tick markers, and usually Edie detects them before you can even see them. So essentially, who knows exactly how far away he's finding them. Notice the water's glitching in the background? That happens to me, I want to say every time I'm here. It's either those like lines like that, or sometimes it looks like the whole lake drops through the map and you see lines going up and down, vertical lines, and the water disappears. I've see some kind of glitch like that every time I'm here. All right, so I'm going to get these guys to wait right here. There's no point in bringing them out. That whole platform is covered. It's infested with lake lurks. All right, so I'm going to hit a stealth boy. And the bad thing about stealth boys is they don't affect you while you're in the water. You're completely visible. It's as if you're standing up running. You're just as easy to detect as if you were just jumping up and down, walking on water. So, that's the bad news. Good news is there is a wall up here. Notice I pre-saved just in case, because mistakes will happen. Don't want to have to backtrack all the way back to the shack, especially since I got all those lake lurks out of the way. Get up here, and there's a wall or two, and if you can safely get to the edge of the platform, then you can crouch behind the wall, and since you have a stealth boy active, your sneak skill is high enough. Okay, see, there you go. 2/3 of my health, roughly. Well over half, anyway, from just one of those sonic blasts. The next one's going to kill me outright before I even get to the stupid platform. If I can just dodge him long enough to get behind a wall... I don't believe that stuff can go through the walls. It can't. Okay, so... Anyway, sit here and crouch. And it'll say danger, but they can't really do much about it right now. And I can just chill. and take this opportunity to heal. Alright. And it should go to caution and then hidden really quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. Now, as long as I don't touch them, they have no idea I'm here. And I really don't want to carry those missiles. They're heavy and they're not worth crap. And I'm not going to be running around with a missile launcher, so... Although they did do some cool stuff with missiles in Fallout New Vegas, is they created different kinds that have different effects. It's kind of neat, especially with the GRA, and I think with the DLC, the Gunrunner Arsenal, I think it's what it's called, Gunrunner's Arsenal, GRA, they added even more different kinds of missiles, you know, high-velocity missiles, and, I don't know, probably incendiary missiles, and who knows what else. And they really don't deserve to be sitting here enjoying the radio. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. Okay, so this is a location in and of itself. It's kind of cool. And, you know, we were talking about bottle cap mines and death claws earlier. Laying a couple bottle cap mines here in their little path, the way that they're walking, wouldn't be a bad idea if I had them. Alright, and here's our Wasteland Survival Guide. Always take a skill book. Alright, and we're going to want to get in the water and get away ASAP. So they don't have a lot of range on those sonic attacks, but two of them were to shoot one at the same time and hit me, I'd be dead instantly. Alright, so that's that. Alright, got a Wasteland Survival Guide. Got our Pugilism Illustrated. I believe that's what that book was. Out of that little fisherman's shack. Okay. Keep heading around the lake, and this will eventually lead us right over there by Bitter Springs Campground and then Bitter Springs itself, which is another NCR camp. I don't think we have to deliver any of the comm orders there. I don't think it counts as a ranger station, but there is some quests to be had there. Several, actually. And there is also a cave nearby called Blood something cave. And there we will find, I believe, the legendary Night Stalker, but most importantly, a really large stash of caps, like 7 or 8 grand, okay, which is really going to come in handy when we go to get our implants from Dr. Usanagi. And we'll also find a 12.7mm submachine gun, which I could use, but I will sell that also for another couple grand. So we got 10 grand in caps coming our way. All right. And up here is a Cazador nest, and we will go tangle with them starting in the next one. All right, thanks for watching. And if you want to catch the rest of the Let's Play up to this point, click the top box. For a complete list of all my video playlists, different games, click the bottom box. And if you want to subscribe, hit that button right there over my head. All right, remember, leave a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.